we're going to keep it real for you right now. Tax season, you know, is underway right now. We're all hoping to get a little money back when we file. CPA Kimberly Washington here to talk about some tax deductions that could actually help boost those tax returns for you. Thank you for joining us as always.
Thank you.
Big time of year, stressful time of year. Some deductions to know about. Your debt, you can actually write that off a little bit.
Right. So if you are in a situation where you loan money to someone, you may be able to take it as a deduction if that person did not pay you back. And another situation where you can take what's called a bad debt expense is a case where maybe you paid a contractor to perform work on your home, but they didn't perform that work. You may be able to take it as a deduction. It's called a non-business bad debt on your tax return.
And those are things you need to back up with some documents.
Definitely. You also have to provide some information, but this is something that you might want to look into if you're able or if you fall into this category.
And let's talk about education for a second. There's some things you can do as far as writing off some of your educational expenses.
So educational expenses, many people think about the American Opportunity Tax Credit, and that's for those individuals who have the first 4 years in college. However, there's something called a lifetime credit too as well. So in this case, this may be a case where maybe if you're after the 4 years, you're going back to graduate school, maybe a trade school too as well, then in that case, you may be able to take this deduction up to $2,000 as it relates to the tax deduction.
And you said that K through 12, there's a tax deduction for that as well?
Right. This is also important, especially in the state of Louisiana. Many people may not be aware. If you have a dependent, a child who's actually in school, K through 12, you may be able to take a deduction for their tuition, their school books, their textbooks, and also different fees as it relates to their school expenses. So that's something you can take for your state tax deduction.
And you can look around, some things you own actually losing value, and you could write off some of that value.
You can write off some of that value too as well. We're talking about depreciation here. So if you are a business owner, if you own real estate, you may be able to take an expense deduction for depreciation. And I see in many cases, many people will ignore this deduction, but this can actually help you boost your tax refund. So this is definitely something that you want to take advantage of.
All those good, all that great advice. You always leave us with a little bit more though, right? A little Kim sense for the week.
Right. So if you are in a situation right now getting ready for your taxes, I have a great tool on my website at washcpallc.com. And it's just a tax organizer with all the information that I discussed here. So you can go through and see what it is that you can take as a deduction for tax time.
Kim, thanks for joining us. I know this is game time for you. You got to get back in the office and get back to work.
Yes, it's so busy.
We'll put all this on our website, WDSU.com. Christina Whalen.